guys, Pharaoh Knight here, bringing you episode 20 of our Colony Survivor playthrough. In the last episode, we did a little bit of work around the boat and terraforming that cave, as well as building up the pier. We also came in here and built up the upper floor, as well as adding in a deck over here. In today's episode, I figured we'd take a little bit of a break from the building scene, considering that our last two builds maybe didn't go quite as well as we had hoped. So in today's episode, I'm thinking it's time that we went and picked another colony to start. Now, we have done the Far East, we have that going and stable. We have these two to choose from, the New World and the Tropics. Now, historically, the New World was to the west of Europe, which I'm assuming is the Old World, and the Tropics, I would assume, are to the south. Now, all in all, I'm feeling a little bit like summer vacation, so I think we're going to try to head south and hit the tropics. Then again, knowing my directional skills in this game, we'll end up either in the Arctic or the New World by accident. And before I leave, I'm going to make sure this is in my hotbar, because we all know what happened a while ago with me and the Arctic. Alright guys, I'm going to head out in that direction. And hopefully we find the correct location this time. There it is. Okay, so we have left the Old World. It looks tropical. It's definitely not the Arctic. Where did we land? We did it! We actually got the location that we were aiming for. So, now the question is, where do we want to set up our colony? For our location we're going to set this up, we have some good spots in here. I think I'm going to go and put it over here. When you think of the tropics, I'm thinking nice sandy beaches. And I think this spot looks perfect right here. Alright, so let's get this down. Let's say right here. And we are going to call this Tropical. Oop, my cap lock's around. Tropical Paradise Colony. I would just call it Tropical Paradise. And we're going to create it right here. Perfect. Did I not transfer science? Huh. Maybe I didn't. But, all in all, we're going to have to get this rolling. So this may take a while to get the defenses set up yet again. I have no luck with new colonies. So I wanted to move it a bit, and I thought that if you deleted it, it would just go back into your hotbar, and it didn't. So I gotta go all the way back, make a new colony thing, and come all the way back. Great. There, we are back, and we have moved not that far over. I just kind of wanted this area here. Again, it doesn't look like our science actually has expanded this out too much. But then again, maybe it has. It's hard to tell. Anyways, what I'm thinking for this area is the trees are quite a bit larger over here. So I was kind of humming and hawing over the idea of doing like tree forts. We'll have to see. We'll have to get started first and see how that goes, and then take it from there. Maybe only do some in the trees. So our defenses are set up. I just went for a quick zigzag pattern back and forth, which is kind of interesting because I cut into the water and now we have a bit of a moat, which I plan to use the water for a few other things over there. But for this build, I did want to stay away from building walls because we've done that quite a bit. It takes a lot of time. So I wanted to try just digging a 2-block high ditch and work with that somehow. So we do have some walls in the back there because I'm sure that's easier than digging out the hole. And we've slowly got this colony running. We're still pretty small, but it is running. It does take quite a while to take out a single tree, just because you do have to build up and work your way down in this area. So that has been proving to be a little bit of a challenge for this area. But all in all, not too bad. We are headed towards getting our archers set up for our defense. I did want to try something a little bit different with our outlining, so I used some dark leaves. It adds a little bit of texture, a little bit of flair, but overall, not too shabby. So while they're working away, let's take a quick peek at what we can do here. So when we jump over science, now that we're in the tropics area, we have fufu, which requires cassava, bananas, and water buckets. So that means that we should be able to get started on some of those. So if I come to the tropics, we do have two available to us, cassava and bananas. So we're going to work towards getting some of these set up. I don't know, I would assume bananas is a tree. That makes sense. I don't know what cassava is. I'm not sure if it's a tree or a bush. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what that actually is. So with the banana farmer, it seems the biggest area that we can get is a 6x8 area. Any other is too large. And let's see. So I'm curious to see what this actually does, what the placement is, and then we can find an optimal size here. I'm thinking of building out the new items on the beach here and using water as a kind of an interconnector. I think that would look really good. So let's see. So these are the banana trees. I'll be honest, not what I was expecting. I was expecting them to be at least taller than the colonists, but so be it. So that means if this was a 6x8, then a 5x7 is the optimal size for these. So let's just change that up right now. Where's the hitboxes for these things? They're down low. Okay. Well, here is our cassava. Cassava. That's the word I'm looking for. Just these little plants here. And this is just a 10x10 on arable land. I've also moved the banana farm over. You can see where it used to be over there. It's now over here. And I've brought in the water. I'm thinking of doing like little series of bridges to new areas over here. You know, a little bridge that connects over here and then so on and so forth. I think that would look really cool. It's just getting started here though. There is our cassava grown up. It looks like it's the same as flax and barley. It only takes 1 day to fully grow before it gets harvested again. So we probably won't need too many fields of this, which is nice. So that's perfect timing. Our science for fufu is now complete. Now something that was interesting to me is that I don't see anywhere in here the stove, which is kind of interesting. So does that mean that we cannot build stoves out in the Far East? Or not Far East, sorry, in the tropics. Kind of an interesting one. But let's get our fufu. So we will need it to get our next 3. So we will start production of fufu, which it's made at the grinder of all things. So if we come over to our grinder here, our guy is already making some fufu. And it takes 2 bananas, 2 cassava, and 1 bucket. I am going to set that up, 200 let's say. And because it is something new, let's get another guy working on it right away. Okay, perfect. I found the stove. I forgot I can't craft it myself apparently. That's where the stove is. All good. So we have our next 3 sciences complete. Yes, we have our coffee bean field right here. They do seem to be smaller. I'm not sure if they're trees or bushes. Can't quite remember how coffee beans are made up, but they are a smaller size farm. So I'm going to follow the banana size and see if it translates over the coffee beans. We can always change this out. Then we have our papyrus field here, which papyrus is used for paper, or an old style of paper. And finally, over here we have our sugarcane farm. So, with all of those done, we will get them going. I did have to expand our food production. It was a little bit low, and it still is, but it should be getting a bit more pretty quick here as well. So we'll let those guys go and see what happens. Uh-oh. That's not looking good. And I can't seem to find anywhere that you make coffee at.